Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I've got another video solution for you. This is section 1.2, question number 10. It's another achievement check question. It says here, Quan is answering 4 true or false questions on a quiz. When I first read this, I nearly had a heart attack because I thought it was 4 multiple choice questions, and that would have had a lot more to the question. It would have had 256 possible outcomes. This is much better. Assume that he randomly guesses each answer. Of course he does. Draw a tree diagram to illustrate all possible outcomes. So what you need to do now is snap your fingers. And if you snap your fingers just right, then a tree diagram will appear. So here we go. You should see there's about, well, let's see. There's 2 branches in the first question, true or false. There are 4 options for the second question, so 4 branches, then 8, then 16. Or in other words, 2 to the power of 4 different outcomes. So that's my answer to question A. Draw a tree diagram to illustrate all possible outcomes. You could also do an organized list, right? The first element in the list would be true, 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 true. The second option or outcome in the list would be true, 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 false. And essentially we're just sort of naming the items in the list here. First one would be true, 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 etc., etc. Okay, question B. What is the theoretical probability that he gets all 4 of these things? So the first one is all 4 correct. Well, any one of these could be all 4 correct. We don't know. I mean, this could be a quiz where all 4 answers are false. False, 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 and he would have to guess that one to get them all correct, or it could be true, false, false, true, or true, false, 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 or any number of options, well, 16 options. So let's just make it easy for ourselves, and we'll say that getting all 4 true would be all 4 correct. Okay, so true, 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 true is going to be the only correct option. Anything else, any other outcome is not going to be correct. So in that case, the probability that this person is going to get 4 correct, so I'll say 4 correct, or if I use set notation, I can say the probability that our unknown variable, which is the number correct, equals 4, is going to be one way that could happen out of 16 possible outcomes. Okay? Next option is exactly 3 correct. Well, exactly 3 correct, I guess a little bit more complicated. That means, for example, that he could get 3 trues and 1 false. So in other words, he could get the first 3 correct and then get a false one. Or he could get the first 2 correct and then 1 wrong, and then 1 correct, so that you get the third one wrong. Or you could get the second one wrong. That would be true, false, true, true. Or I guess he could have got the first one wrong and all the others right. So that would be false, true, true, true. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4 ways that could happen. Another way to think of it is to get exactly 3 correct, you have to get exactly 1 wrong. So there's 4 different places where you can get 1 wrong. You can get the 4th one wrong, the first one wrong, the second one wrong, the third one, or the 4th one wrong. Right? So the probability that x is exactly 3, well, there's 4 ways that could happen. Out of 16, that's the same as 1/4 or 25%. Okay, the third question we have to look at is the theoretical probability that he gets fewer than 2 correct. So to get fewer than 2 correct, he has to get 1 correct, or he has to get none correct, right? So let's see now. 1 correct. The only way I can think of that he could get 1 correct would be this one here. If he gets the first one correct, and that's not the only way. That's the first way I can think of. But he might get the first question wrong, in which case maybe he gets the second question right. So false, true, false, 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 true, false, false is 1 correct. Or false, false, true, false, 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 true, false is correct, or false, 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 true would also be correct. Sorry, one correct. And then it did say fewer than two correct, so we could also get none of them correct. So we could get false, 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 false. Maybe I should have done check marks. I should have done check, sorry, x, 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 x or something. No, next time. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ways that he could get fewer than 2 correct. So if I write this out, I'm going to write probability that x is less than 2. And we've established that there are 5 ways that you can get fewer than 2 correct. So there's 5 out of 16, and that seems like a pretty good answer to the second question. So finally, we have not all correct. Well, we've kind of already done the legwork for this because we've done all correct, right? So not all correct would be all the other options. In other words, if we get something wrong, every case except the first one is where it gets some wrong or not all correct. Okay, so this time we're going to do the probability that they're not all correct. So in set notation, I'm going to say the probability that x is not equal to 4, not equal to 4. And, well, we've already done the probability that x is equal to 4. I called it 4 correct up here, but so I'm going to say 1 minus the probability of the complement, which is that x is equal to 4. And so that becomes 1 minus 1 over 16, and well, that's basically 15 over 16. Now, some of you might have just gone directly to 15 over 16 because you can count that there are basically 15 other branches. So that's fine. I just thought it was a good opportunity to talk about complementary events. And that's basically our solution to question 10 from section 1.2. We've got all of them covered, right? Thanks for listening, and tune in next time. Let me know if there's any other problems that you'd like to see a video for. Bye-bye.